Hello everyone, we are from group 2. We're going to discuss about consumer perception and the positioning. We are the member of our group that is me, Zahwa, Aziza, and Bintang, Nadhiva. I'm gonna explain you about the sensory information. Sensation is the immediate and direct response of the sensory organs to stimulate. A stimulus is any units of input to any of these senses. The first that is sign. Sensory input for our eyes is reflect in brand colors, stores, layout, website design, and more. Sense, how people associate memory with smell, as well as impact for the fragrance on product and store choices. And the third is touch. Touching a product influence persuasion, and that touching could be used as a persuasive tools. And next is sound. Designing products and package that emit just the right audio sensory input. And the fifth is taste. Marketers can influence the perception of taste with sign and sound. And the last is sensory input and culture. We are trained by our culture how to interpret our sensory perception. Next is the absolute and differential there holds. Absolute there holds the lowest level at which an individual experiences a sensation, the point at which a person can detect a difference between something and nothing. The minimal difference that can be detected between two similar stimuli is called the differential trait, or the just noticeable difference. Perceptual selection. There is three of it. Selective exposure is occur when consumer tone into message that they find pleased and with which they are sympathy, and they actively avoid painful or threatening ones. The second is selective attention is consumer heightened awareness of stimuli that meet their needs and interests, and minimal awareness of stimuli irrelevant to their needs. And the third is perceptual defense is a cognitive activity occurring when consumer subconsciously screen out stimuli that they find physiologically threatening, even though exposure has already taken place. Perceptual organization. First is figure and ground, the interrelationship between the stimuli itself and the environment or context within which it appears. The second is grouping. People intuit instinctive tendency to group stimuli together so that they become a unified picture or impression. And the third is closure, the insight instinct to organization piece of sensory input into a complete image or feeling. Next is interpretation clues. Intrinsic clues is basically characteristic of the product itself, such as size, color, flavor, and aroma. Second is extrinsic clues, characteristics that are not physically inherent in the product, such as packaging, price, and promotion. And biased biased notion that people carried in their mind about the meaning of the various stimuli when presented with their stimuli. People add this bias to what they see and hear and form mostly distorted impression.
Okay, so the next one is the interpretation consumer imagery. Consumer imagery, a term referring to consumer perception of all the components of products, services, and brands, and to how consumers evaluate the quality of marketer offering. Price quality relationship, a situation occurring when consumers rely on prices as indicator of product quality and view more expensive product as having higher quality and value. Next slide, please. Next one is risk perception, the uncertainty that customers face when they cannot force the consequence of their purchase decision. The type of perceived risk include functional, physical, financial, psychological, and time risk. Information. Consumers seek information about the product and the product category through word of mouth communication from salespeople. Brand loyalty. Consumers avoid risk by remaining loyal to a brand with which they have been satisfied instead of purchasing new or untried brands. The third one is store image. The judgment of the merchandise. Buyers of a reputable store and depend on them to have made careful decisions in selecting products for sale. And the last one is price quality relationship. Consumers often feel that the most expensive model is probably the best in terms of quality. Next slide, please. Okay, so the next one is positioning, the process by which a company creates a distinct image and identity for its product, services, or brand in consumer mind. The position, which is intangible and exists only in the consumer mind, represent how marketers want consumers to perceive product and brands. Repositioning, the process by which a company strategically change the distinct image and identity that its product or brand occupies in consumer mind. Company do so when consumer get used to the original positioning and it no longer stand out in their mind. Next slide, please. And this is our study case, Dove Real Beauty campaign. Dove Real Beauty campaign launched in 2004 cleverly used different things like diverse pictures, good smelling products, and powerful message in their ads to change how people see their products. They want to show that everyone is beautiful in their own way. By making sure people saw this diverse image, they grab attention and challenge the usual idea of beauty. Dove campaign made people feel good about themselves and reduce worries about whether their product were too expensive. They successfully saw Dove as a brand that supports feeling strong and being yourself, proving how important it is to present products in a way that connect with people and brings out idea. Next slide, please. And in conclusion, consumer perception and positioning is how individuals perceive and interpret stimuli. The case study of Dove Real Beauty campaign served as a poignant example of effective positioning, showcasing how a brand strategically leveraging diverse visual and empowering message can reshape industry norms and foster a meaningful connection with consumer. Ultimately, the chapter underscored the significance of understanding consumer perception and adaptively positioning products in today's dynamic market, where emotional resonance and challenging established norms play pivotal roles in shaping brand success. And that's all from us. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.